Now, I didn't hear anything about the B-26 until I got to Barksdale Field after I graduated from single engine school, and my first ride indoctrination to the B-26 was that was when the pilot just chopped the throttle right over the end of the runway and we dropped straight down. And it was after that that I began to hear that the plane was called the Widowmaker and the Flying Prostitute and so forth. And it didn't really scare me, but it sure put me in awe of the plane. I mean, you know, I had some anticipation. Every time we'd get in the plane to take off, I was always aware of the fact that a number of them had crashed on takeoff and on landings. Ray Town, a guy from our squadron, they got shot up pretty bad coming in, and he was flying with the group commander, and everybody laughed about that later on. He was getting ready to jump out. He turned around and he says, "Does anybody want to buy a good watch?" Well, I was just I was making a three-legged cross country out of the basic. I'm trying to remember the name of the field. Strother Field in Winfield, Kansas. And I'd gone down just over the Arkansas state line and turned around and went on the second leg. And just turning off of the second leg onto the third, getting ready to head back to base. And I noticed that the fuel in that tank that I'd been using was down pretty low, so I switched over to the other tank. And within seconds it started sputtering and it quit. Of course, then I worked on there's a thing called a wobble pump, and it was actually a pump to try to get gas going again into the engine, and I couldn't get it to start again. So all I could do was look around, and I spotted a pasture, a farmer's pasture, and I figured I could make that, and I did. I just came in not more than 10 feet over the fence and landed in the pasture, but there were a bunch of rocks in there, and along the way, just before it stopped, a tire apparently struck a sharp rock, and the tire blew out. But there was no damage to the plane. So I got out, and the farmer came out and wanted to know how I was, and I told him okay, and so he called the base, and they sent a car out, and they picked me up and took me back. I thought I was in trouble, but the commandant called me in and congratulated me on presence of mind and being able to make the forced landing when there was no power.
What kind of plane was that?
It was a Vultee BT-13, the one we call the vibrator. It turns out that what had happened was that when I was switching, it was in the summer, and when I was switching over, a vapor lock formed in the fuel line, and there was no way I could get gas to the engine.